Hello, my name is Milton Guitierez. I'm a pastor living in Austin, Texas. And the question, before I ask the question, just want to throw out a background to the question. Um, One of the things that I've been reading on and researching is just the trends of, of when the Hispanic people in the United States will become the majority. And it seems that according to some reports out there, 2020, 2025, 2050 even, um, the Hispanic community population will be the majority here in the United States. So it's coming up pretty soon, um, within 20 to 40 years. And um, one observation that I've been just talking to some church leaders, and just my own personal observations, is that as in general, as a Hispanic church in general in the United States, um, we don't have this sense of urgency for that, or I haven't seen a mobilization to be a church that will be at the forefront of reaching out the emerging Hispanic majority in this country. And that troubles me, that burdens me, and that also is stimulating just creative type prayers to God and saying, God, what use our creativity, use our reasoning and our our thinking skills and all that we have that you've given us, in the power of the Holy Spirit to see what will it take to create and to come up with diverse church expressions that reaches a very diverse population. And I guess just my question is, are there churches that you know of that are wrestling with these questions and kind of see this burden, this troubling uh, present condition of the Hispanic church, and that right now we're still relatively small. We relatively um, just we kind of follow still the crowd. We follow oh, other trends, other innovations, but we still haven't come up with our own unique contextual innovations and creative just creativity that is uh, really necessary as we wrestle with these questions of how do we expand the kingdom in the Hispanic community here in the United States. And so, um, Hispanic churches in general, just from my own personal observation, we're not known as innovators or creative or risk takers as our Anglo brethren are. Um, One of the things that I really have benefited from the Anglo churches is that they are willing to take risks. And at the moment, currently, there's certain questions that they're asking that really are I'm asking myself, why aren't Hispanic churches asking these same questions, such as, gospel, such as the nature and what is the church, theological questions to pressing issues in the culture. And so I just it does trouble me that we're not, as a Hispanic church, as Hispanic churches, we're not asking these questions in light of the Hispanic culture that's rising and will become the predominant culture um, in people group in the United States. Um, as one leader that I talked to said it well for me, he said that that they were behind the bell curve, and that really is the way that I would describe Hispanic churches in general, is that we're behind the bell curve, um, and that we're really not pressing forward in creativity and innovation. I think there's a small minority maybe out there, uh, but in general, uh, there isn't much. There isn't much going on. There isn't much that a mobilization, a national or statewide national mobilization um, to become ready uh, as the new majority begins to emerge. And so, I dream of a day um, when we do get ready. We have, I kind of, for my personal um, standpoint, I kind of gave myself, 15 years, 15, 20 years to get ready. What can I do right now to get ready? What can I do right now to prepare my own convention, Baptist convention, the leaders in my city, the pastors in my city? How can we begin to collaborate together? And so, how can we begin to start conversations? Who do we talk to? Um, it's just a very, to me, it's again, it's something that I've kind of, you could say it's a calling. You could say it's my place in this world, but it does concern me, trouble me. At the same time, it stimulates me into to think creatively, to think as a risk taker, as an entrepreneur, and see what can we do, what can be done. And so, again, are there churches out there that you know of that are wrestling with these questions, with these burdens? And perhaps there's obstacles. Perhaps there's just things that we don't know. And one of the things that I've kind of picked up during an internship that I've done is to think as a missionary. How would a missionary confront um, this um, this opportunity? How would a missionary confront this opportunity? And I think that might be an answer. That might be a way. But again, are there other people, other churches, other church leaders around the country that are wrestling with these questions and burdens? All right.